Hello, I'm Mike, and welcome to the 19th episode of Fallen Dragons. As I said, my name's Mike. I'm gonna be your DM tonight, and we'll go around and have people tell you who they are and what their characters are because it's been, what, 2 months
Yeah.
since episode 18. So we'll start above me with Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh. I am playing Otto, a call or a Circle of the Moon druid who likes to consume food.
And we'll go over to Patrick.
Hi, I'm Patrick, and I'm playing Lucid Reverie, a cleric of the Storm Lord.
And then we'll go below him to Robin.
Hi, I'm Robin. I'm playing Talith Dorashell. She is a bronze dragonborn fighter.
And we're missing a couple of the group tonight. Rowain has a migraine and Dusty is in the process of moving. So hopefully by the time we do Fallen Dragons again, both of those will be back. But tonight, since it's been 2 months, I'm going to give a short overview of what has happened so everybody can catch up. Uh, Way back in episode 11, uh, you guys, or some of your party, had nightmares. And Dusty's character in particular had a nightmare uh, where Tiamat communicated with her. And things pretty much went as they were. Um, Episode 12, you guys made your way into a dragon's castle. Did some not nice things to a former party member, especially Otto. Um, Episode 13, and that so in that very dragon's castle, you were invited to dinner. Um, Tiamat showed up as a special guest for dinner. She gave Dusty, Dusty's character, a quest. She wanted as much genesium as she could get a hold of in a battle against Asmodeus for the 9 levels of hell itself. And you were told that a large amount of genesium was sold in the black market in the Jakarian Inlet. So, over the preceding episodes, you guys went there and met up with the person who actually controls most of the black market genesium trade. And oddly enough, uh, Lucid old girlfriend, fiance, how far did that get? Actually, were
Huh?
you guys with Claire? Were you guys back in the day? Were you guys gonna get married, or did it get that far? Or,
Yeah, we were about to be married, and then the families found out and
right.
didn't end well.
So Lucid was quite surprised when you got to this man's house and saw Claire standing there. And then you met up with a new genesium interest, the Iron Shadow. And you met them during the craziest, most out of control concert that there's ever been anywhere. Yeah,
Murderfest!
yeah, that doesn't go well on, banners and such.
I mean,
Unless you're in Norway. You could be in Norway at a death metal concert and that would work, but
it's
We
kind of
put
what
laughter
happened,
back
though.
in slaughter.
yeah, that is what happened. But the banners came up later after the fact.
Yeah.
Uh, so you guys were actually ambushed by the Iron Shadow, but surprisingly enough, only for conversation, because the head of the captain of the Iron Shadow also wants in on the genesium trade, and he wanted you to set up a meeting.
And
So
they
you,
didn't want none of this.
yeah. The Iron Shadow are basically Bruce Lee with teeth and claws. Okay. Uh, yeah. So you set up a meeting. Claire and Lucid had quite an interesting night. And that was the last episode. And um, tonight we're going to pick up with the meeting and see what happens. I do have a question, however, since it's been 2 months. Does anybody remember the name of the guy who owns the mansion you're in? Did anybody have it in
I
notes or whatever?
No,
don't remember, no.
he's the boss.
Well,
Wasn't
I
it
don't.
Lafayette? I think it was Lafayette.
I think it was something a little more dignified than that. Um,
Drug Lord McDruggy face.
yeah. No, he's not a drug lord.
We gotta roll back the tape.
He's he's quite a distinguished member of the Carnaby Trust, and they are not drug lords. They are wealthy people who control drug lords.
Oh.
You know, like our government and stuff.
Yeah.
um,
For more details on that, see the Iran-Contra crisis.
Uh, luckily, we are not worried about monetizing this video. Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, as we left the last episode, um, I'll call him Mr. Richardson from now on out. Mr. Richardson and the captain of the Iron Shadow were standing in the city, in the parlor of Mr. Richardson's quite extensive mansion. The maid had just brought them tea.
Which we determined was not poisoned for some reason.
Uh,
Can never be too sure, man.
well, Mr. Richardson had said that if she had attempted to poison the man, she would have disappeared. So, uh, so needless to say, she didn't do it.
Yeah, but
So,
maybe there's microplastics in the tea.
I think plastic
oh,
hasn't been invented yet.
They're gonna
No.
kill us slowly.
There's just lead in
Eh.
the tea, but that's normal these days.
Yeah.
and
Never mind.
a hobgoblin can digest all that stuff anyway.
Gives it that sweet flavor.
So, uh, the two of them sit on the sofa with their tea. The captain takes a sip of the tea, makes a rather odd face. Yeah, not sure whether he likes tea or not. Uh, and Mr. Richardson motions to the three of you. You can go or you can stay. Um, I'm not sure how exciting this is going to be. So, and we'll definitely give you an overview of what was decided afterwards. So, it's up to you what the three of you do.
I say we go shopping. That just seems
That
more
works.
interesting than waiting for this tea to cool.
What does Otto want to go shopping for?
So he needs to finish his seasoning bag. But he also wants just like more of those endless food supply devices. And I mean, they just made a shit ton of money not last episode, but the episode before with the concert and bilking everyone out of their money.
Yeah. You definitely have the funds to go shopping.
So Otto, don't you think with the magical technology available to us, we could like make a box that's like the coffee machine, except it can make anything?
This sounds fantastic, yes. Wait, you mean anything food, right?
I don't see that it should be limited to food.
uh,
But it
you
isn't
would,
limited to not food, right?
if you want to create a box where you can ask it for anything, you would have to find a very high wizard somewhere on the Jakarian Inlet to enchant this thing.
Not a high level wizard, a very high wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, both, both actually.
Both. Definitely both.
Um, which you can go look for. You know, you are not currently employed. You are on Mr. Richardson's payroll, but he doesn't currently have you doing anything. So you have the funds and the time to go searching for this person if you actually wish to do so.
If we were successful in doing this, we would also accomplish our mission.
That's true. We had a box that we could just dump Genesium out of.
That is definitely one way to get all the genetium you could ever want.
So let me get this straight. There is replicator technology in D&D.
Yeah, creation. There's
No,
a 5th level spell called creation that would let us do this.
Oh, okay.
um, I don't think anybody's, unless they did a space D&D game like Spelljammer.
Pretty soon.
I don't. I um. I don't think anybody in quote normal setting 5e has ever tried to do this. Um, if
It's
you
just
want
an
to,
in-character idea stemming from technology we already have.
if you want to actually go around search around the Jakarian Inlet to try and find a wizard of high enough level to actually help you create this thing, you can take a couple of days to do that.
That sounds like fun.
I think it's the best use of our time. Unless you guys want to start up a temple for the Stormlord. I think we could put it over there.
Uh, they already have a temple to the Stormlord.
Yeah, but
This
this
is
one
an
would be
Have
his.
enough. What if there's a storm? It might burn down.
this this is an island. Stormlord is the main god on this island. In fact, how long has it been since you checked in with the Stormlord?
You know, I should probably do that, but we're on good terms.
At least you think so. uh, and to find out the actual answer to that, tune into the next arc after this one is over. So, uh, question, because I don't even know this. What level is the create spell?
For food and water, it's only 3rd level. For just anything, it's 5th level.
What level?
5.
Uh,
Surprisingly low
but it's
leveled.
Could
but
it
it's
create magical shit though? Like Genesium?
Well, it can create adamantine or mithril, but they only last for a minute. Precious metals last for an hour. Stone and crystal last for 12 hours. So the stuff seems to disappear after a while, but you could use it in between then.
I don't think she needs it for more than a couple hours. Like, we could just lend her the box.
Actually, I do know there's a permanency spell.
Oh yeah.
So if you were to cast the create spell and then cast the permanency spell on top of that, you might get it to you might get the box to be permanent.
Now that's its own whole thing that you have to educate as a GM because we
Yeah.
don't have access to that kind of magic normally.
Well, I'm telling you, you're gonna have to find a
Powerful high
extremely,
wizard.
yeah.
So we're off to find
Yeah.
the wizard and get him high.
This, this is not, Harry Potter level. This is like Dumbledore on his best day level.
Okay.
So, it's gonna take some work.
So hopefully there's a wandering Tezzeret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other option is we could get someone who could cast the demiplane spell and just make a demiplane out of Genesium. Because it doesn't really care what you make it out of when you make the demiplane. And then we just have to teleport between the demiplane and wherever Tiamat's holed up.
Avernus, basically.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Tiamat just do that? She can cast Demiplane, I'm pretty sure.
No,
No?
that's not one of the spells she can do. She can teleport freely between planes. She can't create them.
My character gets serious thoughts about challenging gods.
About this time, as you guys are contemplating this, where are you?
I think we would have stepped just outside of the manor because we'd be like, let's go, and then we get that far and are like, okay, where the hell are we going?
So, you're standing out in the front yard, basically.
Yeah.
I think we should contact our Stormlord operatives, other priests, and see if any of them know where a wizard is.
That's one way to start. Um, you step out in the front yard. You see Dusty's character. It's bright and sunny. It's like afternoon. Um, you see Dusty's character just sort of meditating in the sun, which he's done for 2 episodes so far.
She had more
She's real.
Genesium.
She's really into
Oh, that's right.
She's really into her meditation. Then the wind starts to pick up a little. And a little more as you stand there.
Windy.
And a little more yet. Now it's getting strong enough to almost knock you off your feet, but not quite.
Otto's ready to
And
turn into a giant dog and grab onto somebody.
and Dusty is still sitting there cross-legged meditating like nothing is happening.
I'm like, Smite,
Thanks.
would
Summoning
you?
the storm, the witch.
Yeah.
And just about um, 50, 60 feet across the front yard over by the tree line, the beginning of the tree line, the ground begins to split.
That's something you don't see every day.
And the split gets closer and closer and closer.
Yeah, Otto's going to run over and try to grab Smite.
So you shake Smite out of her meditation.
Yeah.
And she's like, I was meditating. I was having a wonderful time. What's up?
I point at the fissure growing in the ground.
Are you going to mention to her that she's been meditating in the same position for 2 days?
No, I think that's pretty normal for her.
What is basically 2 days?
Yeah.
She probably knows.
About the time you shake her awake, the fissure gets basically up to you, where you and Dusty or Smite are sitting. Well, Smite is sitting. You've got a hold of her shoulder standing there. And a very large white claw comes up out of the split, grabs Smite by the back of her shirt and pulls her down into the split.
Oh no, strength check. Oh god, my strength is 7.
You can do a strength check if you want. What are the other two of you doing while this goes on?
I'm gonna run up and see if I can help Otto.
Well, you need to, because I got a -1.
Well, if she's if she's helping, you can roll it with advantage.
Oh, good. That's...
Would hold person apply?
Hold person paralyzes someone.
Yeah, no.
Cool. Targeting the claw.
Oh, is it a person?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you know people who have large claws?
Call lightning on large claw.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's probably Tiamat, so I don't think I would do that.
I got a 10 on my strength check this time.
She quite easily pulls Smite away from you, pulled her down into the fissure, and the fissure closes.
Religion check of 13. Was that Tiamat?
Yes.
Okay. I'm glad I didn't call lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not sure if the Storm Lord would have helped you out of that one.
For real.
So, for all intents that you know, Smite is now in Avernus with Tiamat.
Well, I mean, it's your patron. That's fine, right?
You have no idea whether she's alive or not.
She probably wouldn't have expended that much energy trying to kill her. She just would have breathed fire or lightning or both.
You can't prove she was alive before.
Who, Smite? Otto, in his wolf form, shook Smite out of her meditation. She was awake.
Oh no,
She
I
was.
was in human form. That's why I got such
Oh,
low strength
oh,
rolls.
okay. I thought you switched into your wolf form.
No, that would have
I was
been
implying that
smart.
she might be a lich.
Oh, okay. I don't think she was a lich.
You can't prove it.
That's true.
If Smite was a lich, the three of you would not be alive right now.
I don't know. She could have wanted us to do stuff for her.
Yeah, but she would have turned you into mindless zombies before that.
Or vampires. Liches use vampires as servants. I
This
could be
is
a
true.
vampire werewolf.
This is true. You could have your own castle and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
ideas for later episodes. You never know. But for now, all you know is that Smite is gone.
Well, crap. Didn't we need her to get the Genesium to Tiamat? Now what are we gonna do?
Guess
I
we
have
gotta.
the feeling. I have the feeling Tiamat can, seek us out anytime she wants. I'd say this is proof of that. So
Well, none of us made a pact with Tiamat. Did we?
no,
Yes,
but we're doing a job for her though.
I have a spell for that. I can send you messages.
Oh, okay.
I mean, hopefully the Stormlord doesn't get offended with me talking to other gods, but I can do it.
Tiamat is not technically a god.
Yeah,
Don't
she's
you hear that?
Demigod, yes. God, no. But in any case, um, so and the wind stops and the skies clear up and everything's the way it was.
I don't want to be the one to be like, Tiamat, you're not a god.
yeah, right.
No.
Well, as Bodius keeps reminding her of that, and that's one of the things she really hates about him, and like, you know, because
Let's.
in his world, he's the only ruler, and he likes to keep telling people about that. You know,
Well, that sucks.
yeah,
We just lost our warlock.
yeah, that's true too.
Let's try and find a wizard to make a plane out of Genesium.
Yeah, we can have him make that replicator box at the same time.
Yeah.
We didn't
Okay,
like it to Tiamat anyways.
so how do you guys envision doing this?
Well, I guess we hit up the church and try and milk them for information.
They should know where any big wizards are around here.
Yeah, it's got to be like at least a 40-foot tower for this kind of spell.
You would hope there's some wizards that are um, aligned with the Stormlord. being that this is an island, and be it a large island, it is an island, and
And there are storm wizards. Like I think it's a total domain.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's for sorcerers. But they're
Well,
close enough.
and well, Lucid, you're a cleric, correct?
Yep.
So you would also know that there are Tempest clerics that all of their magic is storm related.
I think that's actually what his subclass is.
It is.
So for all you know, there may be a high level cleric you can talk to that has connections, but
Fingers crossed.
so how do you get directions to the nearest Stormlord cleric temple?
I looked around.
I think we should
Oh.
head into town and ask somebody.
You look around and all you can see are your boss's land.
Do I see
You
any
know,
peasants? Are there any peasants?
any people?
More specific, peasants.
Yeah. Peasants. He doesn't have peasants. No, he has security forces. Um, basically, the 200 acres that are all around you belong to him. So yeah.
Yeah, let's head into town. Town seems
Yep.
the best place.
Town seems like a good bet.
Yeah, and the best place if we're going to ask for directions to anywhere would be the bartender at the local inn. They know everything where everything is. So if we want directions to the cleric's temple, we just need to find an inn and ask the bartender.
Yeah.
Well, like the inn you went into to recruit the people that went with you to the cave that all died.
Like that one, but not that one.
Oh, why not?
Apparently, it's a chain.
It's Jane.
The cook and the bartender are like really eager to see you at this point.
I mean, we did pay them very well.
No, we didn't.
No? We were going to pay them very well.
Actually, Rowain's character put some gold on the counter, but
Okay.
We were gonna pay them like a gold apiece, but that never happened because they died.
No, we paid the bartender and the cook. We just didn't pay any of
the
their
people,
people.
you didn't pay the 6 people that went with you, no, because they died before you could pay them.
Well, I'm sure they're fine.
I think I ate one of them, to be honest.
Yeah. So you guys start walking into town. 15, 20-minute walk. You come to the edge of town. There are several inns in this town. So you don't have to go back to the one you went in initially if you don't want to.
Yeah, it's a pirate town. There's got to be lots of bars.
Lots of noises, lots of fights. Occasionally, you see somebody get thrown out of a bar window. Normal afternoon on this island in this city. Um, so, what do you guys do?
So I'm going to pursue, first of all, the last bits of stuff that I need to finish making my magical pouch of spices,
Okay.
because I want the spices if we do get infinite food.
That's logical.
Infinite food, but not infinite salt and pepper.
No,
Exactly.
your your box of infinite food comes without spices of any kind.
Be terrible.
It can produce genesium, but not like salt and pepper.
Well, um, genesium's easier to make than spices.
Huh.
Uh,
Or it can make food, but it can only make the food at a time, and then we'd have to have it make spices that would make an entire giant block of pepper.
yeah, there are minor downsides to this box.
You can apparently only make a box full of anything.
Yeah, that's technically
Yeah,
how the spell works, so
whatever you ask for, it makes a box of that. And so if you want to sprinkle a pepper, you're screwed.
yeah.
Um, so you could go to the open market in the center of town and get all the spices. They're actually give me a roll to see. Um, what roll would that be?
Investigation, maybe?
Yeah, give me an investigation roll to see how well you can find the spices you're after.
14 plus 7, so 21. I'm
You
good at
do
this.
quite well. In fact, you find spices you'd never heard of before.
What is cardamom?
The a brown skinned lady looks at you. She's got weathered skin. It looks like she spends most of her day out in the sun and the wind on the island. She goes, "My dear child, cardamom is one of the main spices of curry mixture, which should go on all food, actually. Um,
Love me some curry.
our island curry spices they tend to be more on the sweet side because we mix fruit juices with them to make our curry. But cardamom is definitely something you should learn to use.
I have to learn. But we also have a very important task. Oh no, my time.
Well, she holds up a small pinch and puts it in your hand and says, "Taste this."
And of course, Otto instantly licks it off his hand.
What she has given you is an island version of curry mixture, which is actually sweeter than Indian curry.
Okay.
It's it's got all your standard curry spices in it. And for those of you out there that love curry, forgive me because I don't have all the curry recipe spices in my brain at the moment. So, um,
For shame, for shame.
I vaguely I vaguely know what they are, but can't recall them at the moment. Uh, but it's a combination that Otto's never had before.
Okay.
And so, what does Otto think of this?
He thinks it's fantastic and makes sure that he memorizes it as well as he can so that he can generate it when he has his spice pouch.
So, she gives you a bag of each one of the ingredients for island curry and says that'll be a silver.
He says, "You know what? For this, I owe you more than that," and passes her an entire gold piece.
She is quite pleased and says, if you ever have the time and are still on the island and want some cooking lessons, I am here.
I will endeavor to return because this is fantastic.
And with that, she goes on to the next customer, which is the youngish looking lady standing next to you. And you go on and collect all the other spices that you were wanting to get here.
Okay.
Because with that roll, you can find them all. You now have a pouch with about 1.5 pounds of various spices in it.
Soon it's going to be magically charged to be able to remake any of those spices with the snap of my fingers.
And so, is there anything else you guys need before you go off to find the cleric temple in this? If there is a Stormlord cleric temple in this town.
If there's not one, I'm going to build one. So think carefully before you answer. For if I build it, they will come.
If you build it, it will fall over.
Well, I only have a 4 in survival, so probably.
That's actually not terrible. And if I help, you'll be fine.
Unless you help. Um,
I'll cast
give,
guidance. It'll be fine.
yeah, Lucid, give me a roll to see if you can wander up to somebody at the market and ask them where the nearest cleric temple is. Uh, either in, either investigation or perception, whichever one's better for you.
Remember to
I
cast
got-
guidance first.
I got either a 13 or a 22, depending on which of those is better for me.
You don't roll twice. You pick which one is better.
I got a 22.
Okay. Strangely enough, a little girl walks up to you, who's no more than 8 or 9 years old, and attaches herself to your leg.
Well, hey there.
She doesn't know you from anybody, and yet she walked up to you and just basically hugged your leg and won't let go.
Hello, small child. I pat its head. I'm gonna need that back someday.
She looks up at you and smiles when you pat her head and says, eh, I might I might let you have it back, maybe.
I continue walking, kind of like carrying her along.
And you take a few steps and you feel somebody put a finger on your shoulder from behind.
I turn around, I guess.
You see a woman in in a gray and white mottled robe with a hood.
Oh, am I abducting your child?
Uh, I wouldn't say abducting, more like this is a game that Sarah likes to play every now and again.
She's latched on like a lamprey. Is she for sale?
And see, seeing her mother, she just sort of turns and smiles, but doesn't let go of you. Like it's like I've collected somebody for you, mother.
So, do you need help removing that? I could probably take care of it for you.
It's been a while since I was deloused.
And you recognize the robes on this woman. You haven't worn them for many years, but you recognize them as robes from a Stormlord temple.
Hey, I recognize your robes. Are you from a Stormlord temple?
In fact, I am.
Oh,
That's
what a
what
coincidence.
that's what Sarah meant by collecting another one.
Well, she has good taste.
She was she was going to make you come to the temple whether you wanted to or not. Because she wasn't going to let go until you did.
I see.
She has a very strange way of collecting converts for us.
Well, that's where I was headed. And I show her my holy symbol. I'm already collected. And I kind of slip that back into my robes.
Sarah sort of smiles, but sort of frowns at the same time. She's like, "Oh, I thought I got a new one."
I admire your zeal, child.
Uh, she lets go of your leg, actually gives you a real hug, but being 9 years old, she's not that tall.
I'm sure you'll be burning houses down in no time.
Her mother says, "Don't give her suggestions like that."
Yeah, most of the town is really flammable looking. I mean, thatched roofs. Yeah, that's
Her,
bold line choice.
her mother says, "Do you know what a bar with 12 kegs of whiskey in the basement will do if you set it on fire?"
I've only seen that once or twice, but it's a beautiful sight.
And her mother sort of frowns, but Sarah smiles. And with that, the two of them lead the four of you, the three of you, completely on the other side of town to where this
Oh, I was going
almost,
the wrong way.
yeah, and it looks like the wooden version of a warehouse with the wooden version of your holy symbol on the roof.
I think we can do better. We shall build a temple construct to rival those of the great nations. On this rock I build my church.
She says, "You have crazy ideas like my daughter does."
Are you kidding? She's going to be the head of my cult.
And the two of them usher the three of you inside. And it is a very simple wooden building with pews and a wooden altar. And you guys have all been inside of a small town wooden church before. You know what these things look like. Um, and Sarah immediately starts racing up and down between the pews at full run. And her mother just sort of looks and goes,
Don't you wish we could bottle that up and sell it?
Yeah.
I wish I could still do that. And she says, "So, what brings you to our humble little church here?"
Well, we're off to see a wizard, but we don't know where one is.
Well, depends on what type of wizard you're looking for and why.
Probably an enchanter, and we're looking to make a drug box.
What?
I mean a box of many things, which may or may not be limited to drugs.
I think we're looking for the non-drug version, to be honest. So rock box?
Yeah, a box of mineral making.
She loosens up a bit upon hearing that.
It's to help with my rock collection.
We need to
So
collect a
you
lot of
want,
one rock.
so you want let me get this straight. You want to build a box and then have an enchanter enchant it so it will magically create things
Yeah.
in this box.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
We have one that makes ice cream.
Oh yeah, you're gonna show her that.
Hey, Sarah, come here.
At last, it was used. It was set on Rocky Road. Do you guys want to change the flavor?
Rainbow sherbet.
Oh, and you also have a flask of um, coffee that does
Hey, Sarah,
Yeah, I
come
know
here.
that.
Get her all hyped up.
Just what she needs.
So her mother's like, "What is this?" And she tastes some of it and is absolutely shocked because they've never had anything like this. So do
Yeah,
you
you don't
get?
get ice cream out in the boonies.
So do you get? Do you give Sarah some of this?
Like a bowl full. Like, I'm sure Otto carries extra bowls, like, just on him.
Hmm. He actually has a
Good.
mess kit, so
You give
He has
Sarah.
a full set of culinary ware in his bag.
oh yeah, he does.
You give Sarah a bowl, a wooden bowl of sherbet with a wooden spoon, and she sits down in one of the pews and starts eating this stuff, and her eyes immediately light up because sherbet is nothing but frozen fruit juice and sugar. Yeah. So she sucked this down quite quickly and then starts to. Who has the flask at this point?
I
I
think,
guess I do.
yeah, Lucid has the
She
flask.
starts. She starts chasing Lucid around the church, trying to grab the flask from him because she wants this thing now. And Lucid is dodging between pews, trying to get away from her.
I'm gonna reach over and grab her by the back of the shirt and pick her up and just say, "No running in church, okay?" And put her back down.
And her mother smiles. She's like, she never listens to me.
Yeah, but this is a giant lizard with teeth the size of your finger, so
Yeah. With weapons.
yeah.
With weapons and yeah. And like, she just sort of sits on the floor with a dejected look on her face. Yeah.
If you're good, I'll give you a good berry, and then you'll feel full all day.
She's like, does it taste like that?
Tastes like the best berry you've ever eaten.
If it were the best berry, it would be called best berry.
Okay, it tastes like a really good berry.
So Sarah's mom is like, um, I do know a wizard that might help you. He he
Okay.
lives he lives in this old house out of town, actually out by the sea's edge is the best term I can come up with. If if a windstorm were to come up, this man's house would fall into the sea. Um, and oh, by the way, warning: when I say fall into the sea, I mean 100-foot cliff. Um, so watch where you're walking. He comes in here occasionally when he needs supplies and such, but mostly he stays on his own out there.
Well, he sounds just like the perfect person to make our box of rocks.
Hmm. Hmm. If anyone's crazy enough to attempt it, it would be him. And Sarah perks up right before you leave, says, "Can you have that old codger make one of those?" And she points to the flask of never ending ice cream.
I mean, they're pretty expensive. Have you been saving your allowance?
Her mother laughs.
I'm like, here, try one of these. Good berry.
Well, she eats it and it is good, and suddenly she is full. But the problem is she's going to have almost as much trouble getting more of those. Her mother's like, "I'll have to see if there's a wizard at the open market."
So should we ask her mother for directions to this guy's place?
Yeah.
Well, I thought I was just on the windswept cliff over there.
It is on the windswept cliff just over there, but
The one to
just
the north, right?
just over there is like 2 miles over there out of town.
Okay,
She
everybody.
says she says literally just head out of town and head straight to the ocean and you'll see this thing.
Everybody climb aboard, I say, and then I turn into a giant wolf.
Eh, do you
Ah,
do
not the
this
reindeer? Better seating.
right here? I
This
don't
is
think
technically
you're
my
high.
fastest form.
I don't think you're high enough level to be a reindeer yet.
One more level and I can turn into a dire elk,
There you go.
which is
That'd be
like a
even
Reindeer
reindeer,
bigger.
but
luxury song.
A reindeer that attacks and eats things.
yeah.
And you wonder what happened to Rudolph afterwards. Uh,
Uh, it'll terrify you to learn that reindeer are omnivores.
well, not Otto. Not Otto.
It makes Otto just so happy to learn that.
Besides, a dire elk would probably attempt to eat a reindeer.
Yeah. Alright. So I think maybe we should take our break here before we head off to the Wizard's Tower.
Okay.
And uh, even though you're in wolf form, Sarah's mother turns reacts like she's seen this before and turns to Lucid and says, as long as you're on the island, you should stop by more often.
Yeah. Well, while I'm here, I mean, I gotta come back to see this little one.
And she says, no, by the way, that's not a message from just me.
Yeah, super
Take
subtle.
take the take the hint. And she walks back into the back room.
All right. So we'll see everybody in just a minute.
Yep, we'll take our break now and we'll be right back for you guys.
All right. Recording.
Hello and welcome back to the 19th episode of Fallen Dragons. Before the break, our party was headed out to the sea because they found, information on a wizard that lived out by the ocean that might be able to help them. Because they still want to build their box. So,
We're off to see the wizard.
but all three of you look down and notice that you don't have a box.
Oh, I guess we should head to the merchant's bet again.
Yeah, go back to the open market, see if we can find some kind of box that'll work.
Yeah, it needs to be 5 feet by 5 feet to get the most out of creation. So
Oh, you want a big ass box?
yeah, I'll have
So
to
here's what we
drag
do:
it.
we go to we go to the local mortuary or whatever the D&D equivalent is, and ask for a casket.
The casket, just make it extra box shaped.
Yeah.
You could see if you could purchase a casket for maybe a dwarf.
Or a small child. Hey, we need a casket sized for a small child. You got one? We say in a very cheery demeanor to the shopkeeper.
So you go to the local mortician who is in a medium-sized house next to the graveyard in the town. And you knock on his door. And this
Hey.
medium-aged man in a black suit steps out. And what can I do for the three of you today?
Well, we're looking for a child-sized box.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Did a child die that I didn't know about?
Not yet.
I'm just gonna be like, wait. This isn't.
Yeah, that's not what this is about. Don't listen to him.
The man says, That's even more unfortunate.
No. So what we need is a box sized like a child, not necessarily for a child. See, we figured that you would be the best craftsman of a large box, but
Hmm.
we don't actually need one because anyone's died. We're hoping that no one dies anytime soon, especially children. I mean,
Yeah.
no offense to your business, but let's hope that the less people that die, the better.
No. Uh, your cleric there is rather zealous. Say.
Yeah, well, he's got a few odd things in mind.
Uh, why don't the three of you come in and we'll discuss that?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot a perception roll as I enter because I don't want to get ganked by his undertakers. Okay, like 22, so hopefully there's nobody hiding out to whack us with shovels as we walk into his house.
There's nobody on the ground floor of his house that you can see.
Okay.
Not much lighting. It's rather dark. It is warm. There's a fireplace in the corner. Um, Sofa, end table with what looks like a tray of cookies on it. Uh, there's a table over by small table over by the fireplace with a candle on it, lit.
So it's about as well lit as a peasant's house gets.
Yeah, and emotions for the three of you to sit on the sofa.
Okay.
I guess I sit on the sofa.
Okay. Yeah.
He
Turns out it's
sits.
a mimic.
He sits down on the end of the sofa. Uh, if any of you would like a homemade cookie, please help yourself.
There's no way that Otto's turning that down.
Now, you're in need of a large box.
Exactly, and we figured that it would be better to come to you than say like a shipwright or anything like that because you have the most experience with basically this size of box.
Okay. What are the dimensions, exact dimensions of this box?
5 by 5 by 5.
Oh, you need a 5 foot cube.
Exactly.
Hmm.
It's for holding magical energies as far as I can tell.
Ah. And he put he rubbed his fingers on his chin for a minute. Looks like he's thinking.
I was thinking of dark wood. Do you have mahogany?
We have dark woods. I don't know that we have mahogany on the island. Um, a
Or
cat.
hunted spiderwood from the dark forests of Muir.
How much have you been drinking?
Only a normal amount.
What is a normal amount?
Like a half gallon.
He says, a cut down coffin's not gonna work for this because you want a cube. So
I mean, it doesn't have to be a cube. I think pretty much any container is going to work.
As long as it has
well,
that dimensions of 5 feet by 5 feet by 5 feet inside of it.
Oh,
Yeah, we do need. So that's what creation can manage for us.
you can do the 5 feet in length by the 5 foot width in a coffin, but you're not gonna get the 5 feet height coffin wise
Maybe
because
2 coffins stacked on top of each other?
no, that's doable. If you would,
Now, is this something we need to carry around with us? Because that could be a little unwieldy.
So my intention is for us to have it mounted on the ship
Ah, okay.
with like rollers so that we can dump the rocks out of it.
you could always
Okay.
put like a portable hole or something.
Yeah, a portable hole would work. We could put that in the bottom and then just have it appear stuff into the portable hole. And then roll up the hole and dump it out wherever we need to. I
or
mean,
you
we're
could,
getting a wizard on our side, that's, and we have a good amount of money.
um, I could see taking the bottom out of a 5 by 5 coffin and then setting it on top of another one and then nailing them together.
Perfect.
You could do it that way. I would have to have my assistant check and see if we have two of the proper size coffin.
If need be, we can return in some amount of time. We are going to be on the island for a while. We've got some business here with a wizard, so.
Uh,
What? No one ever needed a coffin for a gelatinous cube?
we generally don't bury those. Besides, a gelatinous cube would acid its way through a coffin.
Not if it's dead.
It would
No,
melt. Like
yeah.
the inside of the cube would just sort of bleh.
And
You gotta
everything,
freeze it. It's called taxidermy.
Ah.
and then everything it ate would just sort of fall into the coffin. Actually, it won't take any time for me to check. Um, she called. He called upstairs. Uh, says, Glendis, I need you to go check and see if we have 2 5x5 coffins. And this husky yet female voice hollers back, "Okay, I'll let you know in a minute." You hear footsteps uh, coming from upstairs, but at the same time, they're going away from you.
Hmm.
And a few minutes, you sit there long enough to have another cookie, and he makes everybody a cup of tea. And a few minutes later, you hear um, a set of footsteps upstairs again, but this time they're coming toward you. And as they come downstairs on the to where you guys are, you see a person, for lack of a better term, but this person is as black as you've ever seen. And she stands about 6'2". She towers over this guy. And, and when she comes downstairs, wings fold out that are at least 2.5 to 3 feet across.
Big bird lady.
And the wings are that of a bat.
Oh, big
There's
bat lady.
there's not a feather to be seen. And she walks up to the mortician. He he stands, but he's a good foot shorter than she. And she reaches down and hugs him, and he sits back down. And he says, "I would like all of you to meet my daughter, Glyndis."
Your daughter?
Yes.
Otto tips his
I
hat.
see the resemblance.
Yeah, see the
What?
resemblance.
Now what was that?
I said I see the resemblance.
Well, she she gets all of her looks from her late mother. Um, and when he says that, you see his face sadden, and if you look closely enough, you see a single tear.
Oh, poor guy.
And says, "Her mother passing is what got me into this business."
There just not are not enough clerics around when you need them.
her mother was eaten by a black dragon, and Clara couldn't have done anything.
Ah, but a storm cleric.
Uh, it would have eaten you too.
I didn't mean me. I meant like a good one. Like
But what?
An actual powerful one.
One that's had some practice.
like me fight a black dragon?
Yeah.
I appreciate your faith in me, but no.
Yeah. Gwennis, seeing her father get slightly upset, interrupts and says, "We in fact do have two dwarf-sized coffins. What are you needing them for?"
Magic.
She turns to her father and says, "Do I need to move them?"
I mean, we're paying really well. You should check that first.
That hasn't been discussed yet.
Oh yeah.
I'm
So
just
about
bringing it
that,
up because it's relevant.
how much do these normally run for?
That size, at least 100 gold apiece.
We can do you better. We can go up to 500 gold for the pair.
That would more than adequately cover them and the work that would have to be done to affix the two together. I would say, however, if you intend this to be a permanent box, whatever wizard you are going to see, have him find a spell that melds them together.
Well, I actually can manage that part myself. I am a druid, and the shaping of wood is one of my talents.
Well, then you shouldn't have a problem.
Are you trying to tell me you guys are gonna charge us 500 gold a piece, and you're not even gonna like put them together in a box?
No,
Are you
500
guys
gold together.
woodworkers or what? This doesn't seem difficult.
Otto offered 500 for the two of them.
Yeah, I'm not giving them 1,000 gold for, for
Oh,
wood.
okay, that's perfectly reasonable then.
And besides, he with the nailing together, he was gonna charge you 250.
Yeah, so I just doubled it so that we can get them to move it for us.
Okay.
Um,
Speaking of which, we need to get our boat moving towards that guy's estate or wizard tower.
We're
cause
on
your
the boat.
cause your boat is parked on the opposite coast right
Yeah, we're double parked.
now. Lucid wood. Gwyneth says, or Gwenda says, so you want to cut out the bottom of one casket and nail it to the top of the other one? Is that what you're wanting?
Essentially,
Yes, that was the idea.
And then if you could make the top of that last one like a lid that flips up and down, that'd be perfect.
Uh, Glenn just looks at Otto and goes, "You just said you were a druid. Can you not do this on your own?"
Well, I can, but I'm paying you 500 gold, so.
I I mean the taking the bottom out and mending the two together.
You know, I probably could just have grown this whole thing out of a tree if I really talk about it like that. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe we should have done that.
we could walk right out, man. I don't think we're committed to this sale.
That would take quite a bit of time, would it not?
No, that would be like maybe 10 minutes, probably less. I'm actually looking it up right now, what plant growth requires. Um, plant
Those of those of you who are druids in various games need to figure out what druids do in various games.
Yeah, so it's either 1 action or 8 hours. 8 hours if I want to. Oh, 8 hours is to make everybody get twice the amount of food in a year. No, I don't need that. 1 action, so less than 6 seconds.
So you can do it the hard way or the easy way, or somewhere in between.
Oh no, plant growth doesn't do that. Okay, plant growth makes a bunch of plants grow in an area. It doesn't get me
Yeah.
one box of thing. Is there still wood shape? They might not have that in this edition.
Hmm.
That's sad. I know that stone shape still exists, but wood shape may not.
Yeah.
It's been a
Maybe
while since I've
they
been a druid.
maybe they lumped it all under druidcraft or something.
Yeah, it's probably under druidcraft. Some combination of plant growth and druidcraft, I can probably do it.
Like, so which way do you want to do this?
Well, if I could hire them for their time to help me shape this, maybe pay them like 50 gold to, you know, get get their expertise on when I'm like shaping it while I'm doing this spell. That would be helpful. Because that's, just a little bit of their time, but way
Sure.
more. I've never actually done any carpentry before as my character, so getting some expertise on how to not screw everything up would be a great idea.
Uh, Glenda says she'd be happy to help you because her father has a funeral to perform. Um, we'll be busy for most of the evening.
Okay.
So, what I want you to do is give me a combination druidcraft uh, plant growth spell. roll.
So that'd
And
be like survival to mend the two.
uh, yeah,
Or Arcana? One or the other, probably.
well, Arcana, because you're trying to remember if this has ever been done before and how.
Okay. Can I get a guidance over here, my dude?
Guidance. Whoosh. Boogity
Alright.
woogity.
Let's make this a little easier. Oh, I need that guidance. Oh, good. Okay. So my total is 19.
Okay. After a little thought, you remember that what must have been decades ago, you heard stories about how druids crafted wood into all types of magical objects. And then sadly, the art of it has somewhat died with the more recent generations of druids.
Alright. So I will attempt this combination of spells. And yeah. I guess the other big thing that I want to do is grow it out of one of the local ebony trees, because ebony is a tropical tree, so that we
Yeah,
get that dark wood and it's nice and durable.
yeah. Mm. So you spend about an hour doing this, and the whole time, Gwendis is sort of hovering over you, looking down at the whole thing. And when you actually accomplish doing this, you hear this hearty but feminine chuckle,
Mwahaha.
and more feminine and less menacing. Uh, and you look up, and Gwendis is like, "I didn't think you were going to be able to do that."
Yeah, I was kind of anticipating having to hire you guys to like finish it up for me, but it turns out the spells work together fairly well.
Maybe we should hire you to make coffins. It would go quicker.
Yeah,
Uh,
if you ever need a
but
coffin for an elephant, just let me know.
hopefully that won't be necessary. Because if you ever see an elephant on the island, you better run. So, um, you hand her the small bag with 50 gold in it. But now comes the party's next issue, which is you now have a 5 by 5 by 5 ebony wood cube.
It's a hollow cube.
And now
Congratulations, you got what you wanted. Now deal with it.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I know who's going to end up carrying this damn thing.
and you have to carry it out of town all the way to the coast to where this wizard lives. Um, how are you going to do that?
Like I said, there's the 300-pound dragonborn. I think it's probably up to me to tote this thing.
I will help you with my 7 strength. One thing we can do is get our boat to meet us on the coast, and we only have to drag it out to the coast, because it'll still float. I mean, it's wood, luckily. It's not ironwood, which doesn't float.
Yeah.
Ironwood should float if it's hollow, right?
Oh, if it were hollow, I'm sure.
That displacement bit.
It's
Yeah.
very heavy in itself, so I don't know if it would float or not.
Well, I mean, steel floats if if it's hollow, so.
True. So you're wanting your boat to meet you?
Yeah, so that we only have to drag it directly to the coast, which shouldn't be too far.
I
hope.
cast sending to the captain to tell him to go where we want him to go.
Oh, nice.
He's like, haven't heard from you for a while.
Oh, sorry. This is a one-way transmission.
It's not
Do you start with that, or do you end with that?
sending. Sending is not a one-way transmission. Because most people who cast sending want an answer back.
Oh, you're right. 25 words. They can
Yeah.
answer back. It's
Oh,
limited
nice.
to 25 words both ways.
It's not message.
The message comes back. We'll meet you at the coast. Been a while. Thought you were dead.
Oh, it's only been like 3 days.
No, been longer than that.
Has it? Oh, shit.
Since we've seen the ship,
Oh, yeah. It's been like a week at least, hasn't it?
Because you went to the bar, you went to the cave, you got captured at the cave, and then you've been staying with Mr. Richardson for at least 3 days because Smite's been meditating for 2 of them. So yeah, it's been a while.
That's fine.
I cast it again to say back any excuse to drink up all my liquor.
You get a response. Your whiskey's still here. But now that you give me the idea,
All
Black
right.
man.
So I actually realized that I can totally help with this because I can turn into a wolf and drag the thing with you. So you can push and I can pull. And we can get this a little bit
Alright, that'll
easier.
work.
Because quadrupeds have a way higher pulling capacity, and wolf is a large creature and thus has a higher pulling capacity, plus it has a
I'm
high
just gonna
strength.
set it on top of Otto.
Yeah, just set it on top of me.
actually, I was wondering about that. If you like tied it to Otto, like tied it to your back,
Yeah,
are you?
I should probably be able to carry it at that point.
You're actually strong enough to do that?
Yeah.
No. the other two of you take your rope and tie it to Otto.
Yeah, I'll lift it up and put it on his back, and we'll tie it on with the rope.
Like I strain a little bit, but I can definitely still carry it.
Yeah. You now have a 2 mile walk ahead of you.
That's not bad. I move
A good
pretty
walk, a
fast.
good walk.
What?
I was gonna say, I motion for them to get in the box so that I can run this thing there as fast as we can get there. I guess we're waiting for the boat, so that doesn't really matter, but
So I hop in the box, and then we're all riding Otto.
There's no way Otto's going to be able to carry me. So
oh right, you're like
I'll
300
this
pounds
side.
by yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But Lucid being a human, yeah, Otto doesn't have a problem carrying you. So
All right.
you can't go full speed because the Dragonborn doesn't run quite that fast.
Right.
But you are moving quicker than if you were all walking. So basically an hour to walk would you get there in half the time.
Okay.
And
Cool.
ju-
And then we wait on the boat.
Yeah.
the boat's gonna take a couple of days
Oh, to get up this side of the
because
island?
it's sailing around from one coast to the other coast. It's going to take a day or two.
Oh, okay. But like getting to us on this coast near the one second, I appear to have lost my connection. Can anybody still hear me?
They're
We
cutting out.
Yeah,
Right.
we can hear you, but you're breaking up a bit.
Okay. I can hear you guys perfectly
Oh,
well.
You're better. I can hear you better now.
Okay. I'm gonna try to reload a page and hopefully that'll fix it. Okay. I think I
sorry,
can see you all now.
sorry, but as we often do, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty.
Yep. So I think knowing that it's gonna take us a little bit to get there, we might want to go ahead and end it here then, and especially with my connection cutting out.
Yeah,
Yo, 6 minutes of combat.
the wizard. The wizard walks out and immediately immediately throws improved fireball at 9th level
I think I'd just
and
die.
Yeah,
and
I think we're dead.
and toast all of you, and the combat's over. Uh,
Wizard
only
walks out, casts 9th level magic missile. We all die.
yeah. See, only joking. See how much easier it would have been to talk to the old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost 10 my time. So, given that you're basically just about to walk up to this guy's front door we'll leave it here
Okay.
till episode 20, a week, not next week, but the week after. And we'll see how your interlude with the wizard goes.
Okay.
So
All right,
hope
everyone.
hope you guys had fun tonight.
I certainly did.
Yeah.
So please like and subscribe. Uh,
Yep.
comment as well. Check out our Facebook, our Twitter. Go check us out on Spotify if you want to hear this as opposed to watching it. Our Discord is Fallen Dragons RPG. If you want to get in contact with us, we'll be there all the time. And our Twitch will soon be up. Well, maybe in September.
Yeah.
Uh, we'll see how long it takes to get that. We're gonna try it with another person running the Twitch stream soon to see if that works. So hopefully you'll have Twitch sooner than later.
We're on Spotify? We're coming up in the world.
Anchor actually puts us on several different podcast platforms,
Yeah,
but you can go through Anchor to access any of them.
yeah. So if you like, I think that we're on Apple Music too, and all that kind of stuff with it.
So,
All right.
and more listeners actually brings us small amounts of change. So,
Yeah. If you don't mind hearing an ad before the game starts, which you're probably hearing an ad anyway because you're getting it on YouTube. So
yeah, every time that ad runs, it makes us a few cents.
yeah,
So, g- go make us change.
Dang.
And uh, uh, be sure we'll be doing the next episode of Mage on Tuesday. So that'll be out.
yep,
And this should be out in a couple days, correct?
yeah. I'll have it ready for the thumbnail basically tonight. So that means that it'll be out probably within a day. All right.
As I get the thumbnail out tonight, that means I have all, all day to tomorrow to try and figure out what you're gonna do on Mage on Tuesday.
Yep. All right. Everyone have a great night. Peace.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.